All right, welcome to Di's Kitchen, Di and Lydia's kitchen, where today, even though it's summer, we are going to make enchiladas. Special request for husband. Brandon Beals is asking for enchiladas. I have not made these in, 7 to 10 years, but I will just make up the parts I don't remember. So we have 2 pounds of ground beef going right now in a pan. We are going to salt them really well and pepper them really well, because inside of your beef enchilada you want meat that is well flavored. So salt and pepper your meat really well, brown the entire couple pounds of meat, and then you can add spices like cumin, paprika if you like those. We'll talk more about the meat in a minute. The other piece we're going to work on is the shells. So you need corn tortillas. These are the best tortillas for enchiladas. It doesn't matter if they're yellow corn or white corn, but we are going to fry these. So if you take a tortilla straight out of the package and you try and roll meat inside of it, the tortilla is just going to break into pieces. So we're going to fry it in a pan. That pan's going next to Lydia. And we're literally going to put the temperature on like a just over medium maybe. And this is labor intensive. You've got to do these one at a time, or if you have a really big pan, 2 at a time. You can hear it sizzling in the pan. What'll happen is it will start to bubble inside of the pan. And when it starts to bubble, I don't know if you can see that, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to let it bubble on the other side. So this is maybe a 30-second to a minute process. And then you're going to take it out of the pan because you don't want it to get hard or crunchy. And you're going to dry it on a paper towel so it'll drain. The oil will drain off. I'm going to do quite a few of these, like maybe 12 to start with, and then I'll come back to you and show you what we do with them once they have been fried and they have drained on paper towels, and then we'll show you what the meat looks like too. So we'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so we have just over a dozen of these. This is what the tortilla should look like once you fry it. So you should get all these little bubbles in it, but it's still bendable. That's mostly because it's soaked in oil. So if you were looking for a healthy recipe, this is not it. Okay, so just to review. So we're gonna make a pretty big batch of beef enchiladas. Big meaning we have 2 pounds of ground beef on the stove right now. We've salted it and peppered it pretty liberally, but that's up to your own personal taste. And we'll add some of those taco seasoning kind of spices, which we just added. So some cumin, some paprika, whatever you like to add to tacos, or a taco seasoning packet if you like that. And then we're actually going to add some enchilada sauce to the pan. So the enchilada sauce is going to go in a few places. So this is just a random brand. You can pick it up in the grocery store. This is mild. We actually are mixing 2 brands, so we can have 1 medium, 1 mild to just up the spice a little. If you like it mild, you like it medium, you can stick with those. So this is in a pan right now on the stove, warming up, because when we make our enchiladas, we're going to dip the tortillas into the enchilada sauce before we wrap the meat inside of them. We're also going to add some enchilada sauce to the meat itself, just so it has more flavor. And we're going to add enchilada sauce to the bottom of the pan that the enchiladas will be in to bake. So that's our project right now. Once we have a little demo set up for you for how to roll your enchiladas, we'll come back to you. Right now we're going to finish cooking the beef and get everything set up so you can see it. Okay, here we are. We've set up our station for making our enchiladas. Here is the order of your stations. Number 1, you have your fried tortillas. They have cooled off. They've sat on paper towels so the grease drains out, and now they're easier to work with. The tortillas do have like an interesting grain to them. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but they almost you can almost tell which way the grain goes. I try to roll it in that I don't go against the grain because they break. These are pretty pliable just because they've got so much grease in them, so that's probably not going to be a problem, but just in case. So we dip into the sauce. Now you can add to your sauce a little bit of dairy if you'd like. So if you don't have a dairy issue, you could literally just add some half and half or even some heavy cream, especially if you don't like too much heat or you like it a little more creamy. For us, because we are dairy free, and by we I mean her, We added a little bit of coconut milk to that just to give it a little bit of a cream. And then you put some meat inside of your tortilla. You can see Lydia's adding meat. She's rolling. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this up so they can see. And you add some cheese. If you don't have a dairy issue, you add some cheese to the meat while you're rolling. So we're doing half with cheese, half without, so that she can eat these too. When we're done, we're gonna fill this whole pan with enchiladas. In fact, we'll fill another pan if we need to. So we've got sauce in the bottom of the pan. That's what we started with. We're rolling our enchiladas. We're putting them inside of the pan too. And then we're gonna put sauce over the top, and the ones that have cheese inside of them, we'll put cheese on the top as well. We'll show you what that looks like before we put it in the oven. Okie doke, here we are with our half cheese, half no cheese pan of enchiladas. We're gonna take the rest of the sauce and just soak it all. You can go right over that cheese too. There's already 2 cans of sauce in here. And here's what's left of a 3rd can. And we're just soaking it in there. Then we're gonna take some tin foil and we're gonna cover the pan. I have the oven on at 375 right now. Normally I would bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes on 350, but we're hungry. So we did 375 to speed it up. So we're gonna bake this covered and let the cheese and all the flavors melt together. And then we will take the tin foil off and we will broil it for like 2 minutes just to get that cheese that's on top kind of browned and bubbly. Then it'll be ready to go. So we will come back to you with the finished product in about 25 minutes. Okay, here we go. This was in the oven, 375 for 25 minutes. We actually did about 4 minutes on broil because we wanted this bubbly, cheesy, baked. Notice all of this bubbling here. That's what we wanted. Here's Chef Lydia with the enchiladas. We're not gonna taste it on camera because it's really an inferno right now and needs to cool down. But the smell is amazing. Nice and smoky. We're gonna have a feast. It's late, 7:30 p.m. We're finally gonna have a feast. But if you wanna make enchiladas, you can do it. And if you need the recipe, go ahead and let me know. I will send it to you. All right, have a good night. Bye.